Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you by ShortTrackExclusives.com. I'm your host, Thomas Faddis, alongside two of the same short track guys in the studio, as always. Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07 Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman and 2021 sportsman champion, and Ted Baber, Ted Baber Video Productions. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
What's up?
Man, we had a big weekend that we just passed, and we touched on it a little bit. And last week, I think we were going to catch up on what happened and go through some of the champions and some of the races down there at New Smyrna and the big time event. It happens every year, and what an exciting event that was.
The World Series of Asphalt.
Yeah.
That's it. New Smyrna.
Oh, you ain't kidding. That's 9 days I would love to do. And they ran my class on the last Saturday night and Friday night, but they rained out Friday night. Would love to be down there for that.
Yeah, and you've run that track here, and we'll back up just a little bit before we dive in a little deeper about the World Series of Asphalt stock car racing down there with the Supers, Pros, Modifieds, and so forth.
Short type.
Oh, yeah.
What have we got here locally here at Pensacola in the Sportsman Series? Getting ready. Really, the season starts in the week. Yeah. This weekend, actually.
Right.
Well, yeah, we're just getting stuff together. I mean, I'm helping Mike Gorham get a dirt car ready right now, and my car's just sitting. We're piddling with it here and there, just kind of getting it ready. It's pretty much race ready. I can take it to the track and run it right now. I picked up another motor, so Ben Cranford, I'm going to pull his out after the first race and swap it out and put my motor in, so thank goodness. And big shout out to my buddy up in Montgomery area that sold me that motor. I appreciate you. And we got the Sweat Hog Grand Prix coming up, which I've run that before. And let me tell you something, that is the most fun you will have in this area in a race car, because it's a road course.
Rob McClendon's
Rob McClendon's, his baby. He came up with this idea, and it's been growing a little. There's years it's been a little slim, but I mean, last year I think they started 25 cars.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they maxed out at 32, but that thing is the craziest race you'll ever see. They're doing road course stuff. They're hauling butt. They're bouncing off each other. They're hitting tires. They're trying to keep the other. You'll have tires bouncing everywhere. Flat tires, blown up parts, cars coming apart, cars breaking down.
Boiled over, oil everywhere. It's just
just watch them just run it till it pops. I ran a little Chevy Cavalier I got for free and was in the money till late in the race when I cut a tire down.
Had one roll completely over and managed to not only finish but win the race.
Yeah, Stevie Mercer and that Mitsubishi that he had. Of course, it was a Lancer that had some. Yeah, I'm sure it was fast. There's always one dude in an Acura that shows up, and he usually kicks everybody's behind, but he's been braking lately. So hopefully this year it'll be a good race. I mean, Tony Boyd did a hell of a job in a Ford Fusion until he blew it up. So, I mean, it's fun. It's talking about a family fun event. Come out and watch the Sweat Hog Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, just for our listeners that are new, that are not familiar with the Sweat Hog, that has gone on for maybe 5, 6, 7 years or some year.
That's fifth year. I think.
Explain to our listeners what that Sweat Hog is all about and what the rules are, and then the course on the track.
Rules?
Rules. We don't need those stinking rules. No, it's 4-cylinder front wheel drive, bone stock.
Yeah.
You're allowed to put a roll bar or a cage in it if you want to. You don't have to. You got to remove all the glass, all the burnable upholstery, stock tires and wheels, no racing wheels at all.
No.
And it may make a road course. You come down the front straightaway, you turn into the infield, you go around the quarter mile, you make a hard right-hander down like you're going to the pit, the tech area. Yep. Then you make another little right, then a quick left, and out on the front straightaway. And you go down the front straightaway, and then I was in that little Chevy Cavalier. I was getting 80 miles an hour in a 4-cylinder bone stock Cavalier. I can't imagine what some of these Acuras are doing.
Oh,
but I'm telling you, it is a blast to watch. It's a blast to be part of. I admittedly bought a Volkswagen station wagon I was going to enter, but ended up being too good of a car to do that with, so I'm selling it to somebody. But anyway, if you want to have fun, come out Saturday to Five Flags and have a laugh, because you'll laugh your butt off watching that thing.
Yeah, the pits open at 10 o'clock, and inspections start just shortly after that. The grandstands open at 12. Cars to the grid at 12:15, and then pre-race festivities are at 12:45. At 1 o'clock, green flag, and then interesting, the checker flag falls at 2:30. So it's like a 2.5 hour time limit, correct?
Yes, it's a time limited race. which means you got to go hard because you don't know when it's going to end.
Right.
And what's super cool is when you come onto the quarter mile, you can actually see the board if they have it lit up and you see where you are. Because I'd got up to third and the one I was running, actually second at one point. That was super cool. I'm like, oh, look where I'm at. You can see what you're doing. So like I said, it's family fun. It's neat. If you want to watch a fun race, come watch it.
I don't know if they are still doing what they did a couple of years ago, where they turn you around halfway through.
No, they only did that once. No, in fact, they've never done that. That was the regular enduros. They decided not to do it because the one coming in one way would have been like head on into a concrete wall when they were going the other way. So they kind of said no. But I mean, it was a kind of a concept. I think they should put a chicane on the front straightaway just to slow the cars down. Mm-hmm. I think that would make a big difference. Just put all you got to do is drop a barricade out there, something on the middle of the track, and you have to shimmy around it. So, or some hay bales. And if you hit the hay bales, you get a 2-lap penalty.
Well, you never know. That might happen.
Yeah.
I think they
because, when people get wind of what we're talking about.
Right.
And we've got Mr. Jim here.
Yeah. You know how it is.
2021 Sportsman Champion.
I can make things happen.
No doubt in my mind.
You know how it is. The magic man over here.
Well, that's coming up. You have a sportsman race just not too long after that. Coming up with a big weekend.
Yep, 2 weeks from this Friday is our season opener, March the 10th. It'll be Sportsman and Pure Stock late model practice for the Stars event, which will be the next night.
Right.
That's going to be a big show. A lot of big names are going to be here. Matter of fact, we heard of one today, did we not, Thomas?
I think so.
Derek Thorne, the Snowball Derby winner.
I think we know a little bit about him.
Yeah. Winner of the snow, sit on the pole for the last 3 years, finally won a Snowball Derby because his luck was right. He's coming in Paulie Schaefer's number 7. And that's a fast car. Yeah. I mean, if anybody can set it up, make a run here, I think he can. So that's going to be an interesting deal when he gets here. But we're going to have him, Bubba Pollard, Casey Roderick, Sawalich. Yeah. I mean, all the big names are going to be here, and it's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah. And just pretty much 2 weeks or a week in between the 11th, the 10th and 11th, and then the 25th, which is a big return. So there's some racing going on here in the Southeast.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There will be.
Yep. Yeah, we got the Rattler coming up. We got the big ARCA race at Five Flags is coming up. It's going to be, I mean, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. And the Rattler this year is SRL, so it's going to be on the American Racers, not on the Hoosiers.
Oh, boy.
It was a Southern Super Series race, but Ricky Brooks and them went in and made it an SRL race, so that's going to make it more interesting on the American Racer at South Alabama Speedway.
Is that the tire that you had to run down there with your super stock? Did you
No,
run the American?
We ran the Hoosiers. The American Racer is what they run over in Mobile.
Okay,
Right,
I was going to ask you if you knew any difference between the American Racer and the Hoosier, the compound and everything.
I don't know. I mean, we're trying to talk Mobile into letting us come over and run on our Hoosiers, and they run on their American Racers because that's what Ben was talking with Gina about. It's just not. It's not economically feasible to have 2 different sets of tires.
No.
And to have to buy tires. I mean, why not let a guy come over and run his Hoosiers if he wants to run and just have fun? And if he wins, then more power to him.
Right.
Anyway, we got some good stuff coming up. I'm excited about in 2 weeks. I'm ready to get back behind the wheel again, and I'm sure the late model guys will be getting it. Our boy Bubba Pollard is going to be here. Right. And he'll be hunting bear because I'm going to tell you something. That 26 has been fast everywhere he's been. He's had a few little hiccups, but, like New Smyrna when he had a fender brace come loose kicking their behind, he would have won that one. And then he came back Saturday night, wasn't supposed to race in New Smyrna, but him and his wife went to Disney World with their kids, and they're coming home, and she starts talking to him, and why don't you go race? And he's like, nah. He comes back and leads up with 6 to go, and Sawalich got him. I was watching on Race Monitor. I couldn't do anything else. I was in Nashville, but dude, I was laying there on my bed yelling, "Come on, Bubba!" And then Sawalich got him. I'm like, rats.
I saw a post-race interview with Bubba. He said Sawalich is good. He said they were just the least little bit off on the
They
setup.
were tight. Yeah. Bubba said they got tight right there at the end.
Yeah.
And he also said he threw a little shade towards Casey Roderick. Ooh. He said that, he would rather race with Sawalich, that 16-year-old kid, than he would some other people back in the field. And it was shade towards Casey because Casey and Sawalich had got into it the race before. Casey kind of knocked him up the racetrack. He drove in there and drove him in his door and pushed him up and then drove off of him, which is, it's a racing deal. Sawalich said something, but Bubba was talking about there's no respect. He said, Swallets will give you respect. He said, some of these guys in certain cars just don't give you no respect. And in Casey's defense on that situation, this is my opinion. This is the first time he's ever had a ride like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, nothing against Ronnie Sanders. He won a bunch of race Ronnie Sanders stuff, and Hunter's running well in Ronnie Sanders' equipment. I'm not saying that Ronnie Sanders didn't give him the best equipment because he won a bunch of races for him, but not the kind of money like he's got now.
Right.
And this is a big opportunity for him. And you might have to rub fenders a little bit. In New Smyrna, you're going to have to. Five Flags, you're going to have to. And I love Bubba to death, but dude, chill out. It's just racing. Y'all are going to beat and bang a little bit. It's all part of it.
I mean, New Smyrna, that groove is not on the bottom. So you're going to have a little bit of a window of opportunity open. So if it's there,
yeah. I mean, you can rub a little. I don't think taking somebody up a little in the center of the corner, turning off, as long as you didn't like plow into them, right. I don't really see a problem with that. But I mean, there and again, Casey Roderick's with the team, and that's what he said. He goes, I need to win.
Right.
These guys are spending money on me. I need to win races. So it's going to be an interesting season because it's going to, I imagine him and Casey and Bubba are going to have more Swallets, and then we're going to have a little more tie-ins than just that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure.
And I know we've talked about in previous episodes about Casey Roderick taking over with this the National Stars Tour from ASA. Casey Roderick being the one to watch, and this is a question coming up a little bit later, so we can plant everybody's seed that outside of Casey. Would it be somebody else that we have radio on? We'll find out in just a little bit. But
please stand by.
Yeah, and so we just go through 9 nights, big time racing at New Smyrna.
Yep.
Champions coming out, World Series of asphalt start car racing. What does that mean? What does that mean to everybody in those different classes? And Jim, I think you know somebody down there at one of the Superstock races.
Oh, my buddy Paul Coachy. I want to throw him a huge congratulations. He won the Red Eye 50-50 when we were there and was fastest qualifier Saturday night. Drew a number 6, started 6th, and drove up there and passed everybody and won the race. Congratulations to him and his team once again.
Yeah,
2,000 to win Saturday night 50 lapper, and he put it on them. Proud to know him. Congratulations to him and his team, Pack Racing, and glad to see them get it done and maybe win the championship. He said that's their goal this year is be track champions.
Yeah, so I remember the interview he was talking about that. He was really excited, and success breeds success. When you win, you got the opportunity to win again.
Yeah,
kind of like cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But he was fastest Friday night in practice, and then Friday night rained out. So in New Smyrna, when it rains out, they're done. They will pay. Where you start is the money you'll get. That's how they pay. They do the payout. They do the points and payout by where you start. So you qualifying is very critical down there.
Yeah. And what we're going to get into here with the champions after the 9 nights at New Smyrna, the modifieds, the tour type modifieds, which we'll get into Matt Hirschman, was actually washed out, and they paid the points as they qualified.
Yeah,
so he ended up with the championship.
But he won every single race.
Yeah.
Dude, he put a whooping on. He put a mud stomping on them boys. It was sad. I mean, Patrick Emmerling was pissed. One time he squeezed. There's a picture of him kind of rubbing the wall because Hirschman's got him pinned. But dude, you can't just say nothing but dominance. He just opened up a big can of poured it all over him, and got it done.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's coming up just in the ladder, but we're going to start at the very back and do the 602 Tour modifieds, which we've talked about before. The 602 is actually a sealed 602 crate motor. It's a 350, 356, 355 sealed GM motor that you put in. It's a spec motor, if you will. Luke Baldwin with Tommy Baldwin Racing. Pedigree that we've talked about before, youth and experience, but pedigree. Luke Baldwin comes out on top with the championship with that 602
and he was
series.
Juiced too about that, dude.
But dude, that's a 3rd generation modified driver. His grandpa and his daddy were modified champions and winners, and he's following in their footsteps, and that's cool. That's good to see. I like to see 3rd generation like that. That means that kid gets his hands dirty. I know his daddy. Rick Baldwin, he don't play that. You get in the shop and you work. You ain't getting nothing.
Right.
Because that's the way his dad taught him.
Yeah.
So,
well, Luke Baldwin, Lee Sharpstein, Trevor Catalano, which we've gone over before with the Catalano family down there. They've run everything that there is to run. Andrew Lewis Jr. and Evan Rogalski round out the top 5 in the 602 Tour Modified Series. And then we go to the Florida Modified Series, which was a part of that big schedule there with Bill Burba. And I know we've talked about a couple of these guys in the top 5 here. Bill Burba takes over the championship with Tim Moore, Cody Stickler, Alan Burns, and Brian Gason. They're modifieds.
Yeah.
Well, they're the same ones that run to the Modifieds of Mayhem up with us. Bill Burba, matter of fact, led the Modified of Mayhem Championship for about 4 or 5 races last year, or the year before maybe, and had a problem. But I still can't believe Stickler finished 3rd. That car, he comes to Pensacola, son. He's in his own zip code.
He's loaded for bear.
Oh, dude, they sent him to the rear one night. He drove up in like 2 laps, took the lead, and was like gone.
Yeah.
They had a restart. There was no touching him. He's like by he got down to turn 1, he was already 5 car lengths ahead.
Bye.
But I mean, that's a very competitive class down there also.
Yeah, it's a great week of racing, and we talked about it last week. I was going to take Monday off and go back from Monday. We go to Daytona on the weekend afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But 9 nights of racing, World Series of asphalt start car racing. I mean, come on.
You can't beat it.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The Tour Modifieds, what can you say? Matt Hirschman just runs away with the deal. Patrick Emmerling, Eric Goodale, Tyler Remke, and Ronnie Williams round the top 5, but there was nothing with Hirschman.
His winning started last year. He won like the last 3 races of the World Series of Asphalt last year and won. He holds the record now for the most wins in a row at the World Series of Asphalt.
He's just picking up where they left off.
I think he's at 18.
No, he didn't win 18, but there was. I'm talking about like in a row. As far as the modifieds are concerned, he broke the record.
Not in a row, but I think 18 overall. I think
overall he has
18 overall wins in the World Series.
But he had like 8 in a row. I mean, starting from last year. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty dominant.
They found something that makes that car tick. So congratulations to him and his team. Great job.
Yeah, and that's the Tour type modifieds, and we've got the Pro late models here with the championship with Connor Jones, Ryan Luza, Hunter Wright, Brent Cruz, and Carson Brown. I mean, there's 5 right there that anybody could have won it.
Ryan Luza would have won that championship. The first race he set on the pole, I think he broke the track record. And lap 4 to right front went flat, and he went in the fence and didn't finish the first race. That's why Connor Jones didn't win a race, I don't believe, but ended up winning the championship. Ryan Luza was fast in that Jet Motorsports car. I was good to see, man. That kid has got a lot of talent.
Yep.
Flying Ryan Luza.
Yeah, I've seen him in go-karts at the Bull Ring here in town at the Equestrian Center.
Well, he won I believe he was the Pro Late Model Track champion 1 year at Five Flags.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
The dude is just, the kid's got a ton of talent. He's just in college and doing life things. And his Uncle Eddie and I are good friends. And when he ran the car he ran at the Derby, ran for the car Casey Roderick is in.
Yeah.
Wow.
He ran that car at the Derby and had a good run there until he had a few problems. But wow, the kid's got talent.
Yeah, he's been around here in this area for a while, and I think he took a hiatus, and then he's got back in the car. And I think we've seen him the last couple of years back in the pro ranks and running a little bit of a super series, but maybe I think mostly pros. But
pros mainly. He went down there. He won last year at the World Series of Asphalt. Drove a number 9 Jet car and won a race down there.
Yeah. Oh, Jet Motorsports.
You
can't beat that either. There's a lot of. You got Donnie Wilson. You got ACR. You got there's a lot of people out there that are pulling these guys in here that are making some noise.
Oh, yeah.
Very true. You can't beat Donnie Wilson right now. Well, you can because Bubba's done it.
Yes.
And so is Casey. Casey won a race or 2 down there this year. And, man, I'm telling you, that's this super late model racing. I think this is going to be probably the best year for super late model racing in the country.
Yeah, I believe it. And I think we were preparing ourselves for this conversation coming up here this year in 2023. Last year when we were talking about maybe getting together with a super late model national champion. I think that's come to fruition.
Yeah, with the Star Series. Yep.
Yeah.
Starts in 2 weeks at Five Flags Speedway.
Yep. Here we go. We've talked about this guy before, Casey Roderick, taking the super late model championship in the World Series with Gio Ruggiero, William Sawalich, Connor Mozak, and Gabe Summers around the top 5. But I think Jim's picked Casey Roderick to win everything this year.
Yeah, well, I'm cheering for that 26 car more than I am for him, but I'd like to see Casey do really well this year. And Swallots hadn't lost a motor, he would have been a contender. He blew up the night Bubba was leading and his fender brace fell off, which is just, he was sick. He said, they asked him, said, well, that's when Byron won. He said, did you have anything for him? Bubba said, I think I had him covered.
Yeah.
He said, but, if and buts are candy nuts, we'd all have Merry Christmas. But our boy's going to be tough. I mean, we got the Five Flags race coming up. Then he's going to the Rattler. And all across Southeast, he's running the whole Southern Super Series. He's running the entire SRL and the Stars Tour. So
he'll be busy.
He's going to be busy. And I'd like to see him win all three of them. That would be a cool year.
Yeah, it's the super late model or the late model in general, and just short track racing has gotten off to a big start. And we've talked about this before. That there's a very quick turnaround, and we're just middle of February.
Right.
And we're already deep. It just seems like it's a summertime already.
Yeah, it just never ends.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. There's always something going on.
Back in the day, in the 80s, they raced year round. I mean, they raced 5-6 days a week.
Yep.
Guy'd take a late model. He'd run Pensacola on Friday night, go run Mobile on Saturday. Sunday, they'd either be in Jackson, Mississippi or down in Panama City. And they raced on Tuesday night and Thursday night. Uh-huh. And them guys made a living racing short track late models. Can't do that no more, but back then you could.
No, it's that's just the way a short track racing world works.
Yeah, the investment level's way too high now to be just constantly running from one track to another.
Yeah, they've ruined it. Money came in and ruined it.
No, does so many things, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it's all part of it. I mean, we're still got some competitive racing. It's going to be really good this year. I think super late model is going to be the best it's been in a long, long time. I hope it draws the crowds and the people because it needs to.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, for sure. I see a big step with this Stars Tour that's coming up that's going to make, it's already raised attention with Jeremy Doss, probably Jesse Love, and Derek Thorne, obviously, with the Paul Schaefer stable coming over and starting running over here. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe next year it starts to venture out a little bit wider, and gets out to California.
It could. I mean, you speaking of Jeremy Doss, I saw that he's driving that Lions Racing number 44. He's going to be at Five Flags, and they said they were going to run all over the Southeast this year. Ooh. So we're going to get to see him a bunch in that bright red number 44.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good-looking car, by the way.
It is a good-looking race car, yes.
Yep.
Be glad to have him around. I mean, they're just the names in late model racing that are going to be around. And, guys like William Byron that are going to show up and run these races because he wants to win on the short tracks. He wants to come back and chase Elliott. I mean, he put a late model back together and went, hey, I want to come get in on some of that, because that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of big name guys show up for these races.
Bad Brad's going to try to get back in.
He might run the Derby. I don't know. But, they see the fun. See, that's the thing a lot of those Cup guys have been missing. Yeah. They started watching Kyle Larson and go, wow.
Because at NASCAR, it's more of a grind than anything else.
And you get in a late model and have fun and just get to race with a bunch of local guys. You are a star, but you're racing against a bunch of guys that are stars at that track, and it's going to make it interesting. It's going to be a good show. And who else? I saw where Christopher Bell put out a video. He's pissed off at Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs won't let him run any short track stuff.
Oh, wow.
Told him no. If you're going to race for me, you're going to race our Cup car, and that's it. You don't get to go nowhere else. I'm not Rick Hendrick, basically, is what he told him.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, he put out a video on his TikTok, probably on his Instagram. I'm not keep up with all that, but he said that, he's upset that he's not going to be able to run any short tracks this year.
Well, I can understand that because, like you say, that puts the fun back in it. It keeps your interest up.
Well, not only that, but it does help hone your skills. Kyle, you don't think Kyle Larson racing sprint cars and dirt late models doesn't help hone your skills?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the save he made at Daytona?
Yeah,
that thing was straight sideways. Anybody else would have wrecked. He said shoot and kept rolling. It does help hone your skills, and they should let these guys do this. I get they got millions of dollars invested in these guys, and if they get hurt on a Saturday night short track, it could hurt their Cup career.
Right.
Let that be on them. Put it in their contract. If you get hurt every week you sit out not racing, you're losing money.
Yeah.
We're going to pull $100,000 out of your salary or $50,000 out of your salary for every week you sit home because you chose to go do this. You're more than welcome to. But Rick Hendrick encourages it. I mean, he sponsors Kyle Larson's short track stuff.
Right.
And William Byron, too, because William Byron, when he showed up, he had Hendrick cars on his stuff. Chase Elliott the same way.
Right.
I mean, Mr. Hendrick used to be against that, but I think he sees the value in it.
Yeah.
Plus, it gets their name out there a little bit more.
They need the marketing, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember back in the day, they would pay drivers to come in. You know, the Cup guys would always get appearance money.
Appearance money, right? Yeah.
They get like $5 or $6 or something, $10,000 to just show up and race. They wanted to do it. Darrell Waltrip and all those guys, they wanted to go race short tracks because they made extra money.
Yeah.
And it was fun for them to get to mix it up with the local guys.
Yeah, well, I'm going to move on a little bit and go and give a couple of shout-outs before I bring up a question for you guys, because it's going to take a little bit. I know before we sign off, but a couple of shout-outs for Tim McCready. I know we've wanted to touch a little bit on the dirt side of it at Volusia Speedway Park. I know it's only $7,000, but we haven't talked about Tim McCready much.
No.
But with Bobby Pierce and Hudson O'Neill, Brandon Shepard and Kyle Bronson, rounding out the top five, I think that's a pretty good win with a stout field with 26 cars. And that's a dirt late model race. Congratulations to Tim McCready. Congratulations to Greg Van Alst.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend, Saturday, in the ARCA race at Daytona. Man, if you haven't seen his results, in his emotion, getting out of the car, you're missing it. Yeah. And congratulations to him, as well as Christian Rose,
right? Our boy.
He's in our stable. He's part of our short track guys family. Started 13th and was there at the end, 3 wide at the stripe, and finished 12th at Daytona. Kept the car clean, loaded it up, and man, I can't be any more happier than the way that happened this weekend.
Yeah. That was great.
He did a fantastic job to be with that new team, and that's just something more they can build on.
Right.
And the Greg Van Alst guy, he's a short track guy who climbed out of our car and went, yeah, I'm done for a while. He came back, and he didn't get it handed to him. He passed the guy for the win.
Yeah.
Drafted up to him, sucked right by him, and won the race. And, you just can't help but be happy for the guy.
Right. You love to see those stories happen.
Oh, yeah. All the time, dude. That's awesome. And, congratulations also to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for winning the Daytona 500. I know we don't talk NASCAR much on here, but you know what? He's a guy that's an underdog one-car team.
Right. Yep.
And that kind of money and that kind of stuff does wonders for a team like that. And especially JTG Doherty, the Schechters, and Brad Doherty, the ball player. That's awesome.
Yeah.
To see a team like that win. The only thing better than that is when, the go fast racing guys get up there and win one or something, but that's another feel good story of Speed Weeks.
Yeah. You remember, days past and all the Daytona 500s, all the big races like that in the plate tracks, you go down and do the walk by and interview the drivers and so just be there at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
Ricky Stenhouse did exactly that, and he was there at the end and was the beneficiary of taking that trophy home.
Yep. Well, if you remember, they used to call him Recky Stenhouse because he was always in a crash at a super speedway because he'd overdrive too early. This time he waited and put himself in position and got the job done. Congratulations to him and his team. And to Greg Van Alst and all the winners at Daytona and all the short track action. That's got to be something I'm going to have to do before I croak is go down there and spend the entire week and enjoy the race action.
Yeah, get those 6 numbers right. Well,
Here you. We'll get us a Prevost bus and go. But I mean, the racing's alive and well right now. It's doing better. I just pray that we don't lose any more racetracks and that dadgum subdivisions don't overtake our racing.
Absolutely. So get out and support your tracks.
But even supporting them. Look at Rockford, Illinois. I brought it up last week, but that track's supported every week, full grandstands. It's still closing because somebody sold it. The property's worth more for a subdivision than it is a racetrack. Yeah. And it sucks because municipalities, what they do is they pick on that racetrack and pick on that racetrack and pick on it and raises taxes and pick on it till the owners just have to give up.
Right.
Let's just hope and pray we don't get much more of that.
Well, hope not.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, that's we'll have to watch and see, but that's probably going to be a continuous conversation there because they're gonna pop up and they're gonna disappear, and then history repeats itself, whatever. But it's a short track guy's world. That's what we live for. That's what we die by. So our last shout out really is I don't know. This is a guy that you might not know from Altoona, Iowa. He's a National Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductee, 7-time Knoxville Raceway 410 Sprint Car Champion, 2022 Knoxville 360 Wing Sprint Car Champion, and has got like over 300 sprint car features. Is coming to Southern Raceway this weekend in Milton, which is just 20 minutes down the road, and that's a big deal.
Very big.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Southern brings some good people. We've had Ken Schrader. We've had Tony Stewart several times. And this guy right here, he's no slouch. He get around that old place. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, Terry McCarl from Altoona, Iowa again. If you get your tickets and go out there on the weekend and watch these sprint cars go around because you're going to love it.
It is so much fun to watch this guy. Just get on it and just not get off.
Yeah, well, they have to lift a little bit at Southern. It's awfully sandy, but yeah, you might go to a race and a fight and a race may break out. They had a fight last weekend. Some dude got hit in the head with a shovel. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people go out there for the fights. So, I mean, heck, they might get their wish.
You can cut to the race and a hockey game breaks out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some people. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad to see they're drawing some big names. That's going to be a good show.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to it, and look forward to the results next week.
Right.
We'll catch up with you next Wednesday, I'm sure.
So many other things that I'm sure happen between now and then.
Yep. And we've got a good announcement coming up. We got some really good news for the podcast, and
indeed,
that's going to be really, really cool. And we really thank the people that are stepping up and helping us. And thank you all for listening, and we really do appreciate you guys. And if you have any ideas, jbp07@hotmail.com. Shoot me an email. If you know of a driver you want to be interviewed, shoot us an email. We're glad to talk to you and get you on here because we're all about the short track and we want some short track drivers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got some people coming on board that are interested and want to be involved, and we appreciate that. And yeah, the drivers involved with that going to be on and give us their little insight of, what they've got going on and how they keep winning trophies and maybe give us a little secrets of what's going on.
Yeah, help a brother.
But that's all coming up here. Yeah, here in the next very, very short period of time.
Absolutely.
Awesome deal, man. We're looking forward to going to have fun with this.
Yep. Yep. So I guess it's just a 1, 2, 3 thing.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, Brandon. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Stay strong, America.
Good night.